Welcome to South Vietnam. This is a beautiful, diverse region filled with impressive beaches, bustling markets, chaotic city streets, and so much more. In this video, I've compiled the best of the region so that you can plan the perfect trip to South Vietnam.
I'm working on my foreign voice.
Hello from Ho Chi Minh City, formerly known as Saigon, of course. I am here in this big, bustling city. I seem to have found a slightly quieter, or relatively quieter spot in this park here. But I am headed off on a very exciting, very full day of exploring. I am headed to the iconic Ben Thanh Market to start my day. Oh, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Claire Hawkins. I'm a traveling musician and I'm currently backpacking Southeast Asia.
Ivy and vine, poison and wine. It's just a matter of how you choose to waste your time.
That was the easiest street crossing I've had in Vietnam so far. I don't think the rest of them will be like that. This is Ben Thanh Market, an iconic, very famous market here in Ho Chi Minh City. There has been a market here since as early as the 17th century. However, it has been rebuilt and reconstructed many times. This building that stands here now was built in 1912. This market is a great place to come for souvenirs and food, and really just a taste of life in Ho Chi Minh City. I may have to make a correction. The website for the market said that this building was built in 1912, but this sign says 1914. So if you know, let me know. Walking around the market, it smells of coffee and durian, and mostly good smells, depending on how you feel about durian. I'd say it's largely souvenirs that they have for sale here, but there are definitely food stalls and lots of coffee and tea, and definitely a lot to explore, but again, lots of, Saigon souvenirs. So there is a bit of, I don't want to call it heckling, but people trying to get your attention for sure. No, thank you. It's not too much. I had been warned actually that it's intense, and I don't think it's that bad. Everyone's very nice. I gotta eat some lunch, so I gotta get some banh mi. There's a place that has really good reviews, and it's known for having crispy pork banh mi, which is a little bit different, and it sounds incredible. So let's go try.
Cranberry juice, old paper news. If it's all the same, then tell me what is the use?
So if you're not already familiar, banh mi is a very, very famous Vietnamese sandwich. And the interesting thing about it is that the word banh mi actually just translates to bread. So what that means is that there are a lot of different versions of banh mi, but they're all banh mi. Typically, it's pork, pate, a bunch of different vegetables, cilantro's on there, some sauces. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but that's kind of typical. The version I have just gone for has crispy pork on it, which I think sounds incredible. And it cost me just about $1 US. Now that I am full of banh mi, it is time for the big excitement of the day. You know that when I see a new city, I love to do a free walking tour. It's a great way to get an introduction from a local. However, we're kicking it up a notch. Instead of a walking tour, I'm going to be doing a motorbike tour of Ho Chi Minh City. My driver Daniel has just arrived. I'm gonna hop on the back of his bike and he's gonna show me Ho Chi Minh City. Our first stop of the day is here at the post office Phu Quoc. I'm working on my Vietnamese today. You'll recognize lots of Western looking architecture here. This was built during the French colonial period. You can see up there that it was built from 1886 till 1891. And there are names of different scientists across the front of the building, as well as Greek gods and lotus flowers to represent Buddhism. So you have this mixing of East and West throughout the architecture that's really fascinating. The architecture here is just really, really interesting. And of course, it is still an active post office, so a very popular thing for tourists to do is to come here, buy a postcard, and send it back home. This building over my shoulder here is a very historic one. At the end of the Vietnam War in 1975, it was on the top of that very building that Americans and several allied South Vietnamese people escaped from South Vietnam via helicopter. Just across from the post office is the beautiful Notre Dame Cathedral, which is unfortunately under construction. But if you just turn around the corner, you have another very exciting sight to see, which is Book Street. If you know me, you know I had to visit Book Street. It's so cute. There's a coffee shop, there are English bookstores, lots to explore, and lots of postcards for sale. So you can buy one here and then send it from the post office. My guide told me that the cathedral has actually been under renovation since 2017, and it is projected to be under renovation until 2027. So I don't think you're going to be seeing the facade anytime soon, but hopefully maybe in the 2030s. We're just making a quick stop here at the outside of the Reunification Palace, formerly known as the Independence Palace during the Vietnam War. This building was actually bombed in 1962, so it is a rebuilt version of it. And you can actually see, if you look closely at the architecture, that the principles of feng shui were very much involved in the design of this building because it was built by a local Vietnamese architect. little coffee break. It's sort of drizzling outside, so it's good to be indoors. And I have ordered a Vietnamese coffee, so that is iced drip coffee with condensed milk. One of my favorite parts of the entire day was actually our stop at the coffee shop. Daniel and I just got to talk for a really long time, and we covered everything from Vietnamese history and politics to language learning to AI. It was really, really cool. And the opportunity to just hang out with a local, with another young person, is something that you don't get all the time when you're traveling. And I feel really, really grateful. We are here at an incredible stop. This building was originally a house owned by a man who was essentially a spy. He worked as a spy to help Northern Vietnam with their planned 1968 attack on the Independence Palace here in Ho Chi Minh City, of course at the time still referred to as Saigon. He built this bunker in the bottom of his family home so that he could hide weapons here to be used by these attackers when they attacked the Independence Palace. The museum is fascinating. The house is preserved as it was at the time, so you really get to go from what looks like just a normal house to crawling through the floorboards and up to the attic, and you can see where the weapons were held.
Ivy and vine, paper cut lines. This kind of sight, it robs ordinary people blind. Birdies and bees, clean bruise-free knees. They've never had to bow down to gravity.
It's getting close to rush hour, so we are headed to Chinatown next so that we don't hit some crazy, crazy traffic. But that may happen anyway, we'll see.
Bed uptown trains, boring holes in their brains, waiting for a gaze to make a change. Holes in the wall, can't really see it all. It's more than a walk down a hollowed hall.
I think it's safe to say we did not exactly avoid traffic. But it wouldn't be Ho Chi Minh City without this experience. All right, we've arrived in Chinatown and we are crossing the street. Success. This beautiful temple behind me was built by Cantonese people here in Ho Chi Minh City in 1780. It is a temple dedicated to the goddess of the sea. traffic here is so close together that we keep stopping next to this mom and two young boys on a bike next to us. And we're having this whole exchange. They don't speak much English. My Vietnamese is non-existent. But at every stoplight, we just keep saying, hello, how are you? We're now just driving up to the flower market. I learned that the flower market is actually open 24/7 because they're receiving flowers from the Mekong Delta. People are buying them for all different occasions. So we're just gonna drive through it on the motorbike, which I'm super excited about. As you can imagine, it smells so nice in here. What an unbelievable afternoon. That tour was so incredible and just the most ideal way to get an introduction to the city. I cannot believe that I got a private motorbike tour of Ho Chi Minh City for 21 USD. Now, this is a group tour. I just got kind of lucky that no one else signed up, but it was so incredible, so affordable. It was 4 hours long. I learned so very much. Honestly, the main highlight for me was my driver, Daniel. He was so well informed, so kind. His English was incredible, which of course, it's on me that I don't speak Vietnamese, but I really appreciated it. I got to learn so much about the history of Ho Chi Minh City and Vietnam on the whole. Before I call it a day, there's one more thing I have to check out, which is Walking Street. Walking Street is kind of the going out party street here, similar to Khao San Road in Bangkok or Pub Street in Siem Reap. I think it's gonna be something that we just have to experience together, so let's go. So the sign may say Walking Street, but as always, there are also motorbikes. I'm so glad that I got to experience Walking Street. I actually really liked it. I mean, of course there are the crazy clubs and the loud music stops, but it actually has quiet sections where you can sit with a beer. I mean, when I say quiet, relatively, but I don't know. And the place where I stopped for a beer, the beer was $1. So even though it may be party street, it's definitely very, very affordable. I definitely recommend finding a quieter corner if that's what you're looking for. The rooftop bar I went to, which was definitely on the higher end, fancier side, had $6 cocktails. So as far as splurges go, definitely very, very worth it. It is my second day here in Ho Chi Minh City. However, today's exploring is actually taking place about 2 hours outside of the city. We are headed to the Cu Chi tunnels. This is an absolute must when you come to Ho Chi Minh City. I booked a tour. It was about $16. You can find many online. It's a half-day tour, so I should be back in the city in the afternoon, but it's going to be a big day. I got on the bus this morning. We're here at a rest stop right now, and in about another 40-ish minutes, we should be arriving at the tunnels. We just made it to the entrance to the Cu Chi tunnels, and already there's a lot going on. So you can hear gunshots in the background because one of the things that people do here as tourists is try out shooting a gun. Personally, not really my style, so I won't be partaking, but it's an option if you want to pay extra to do that. Also, as soon as you walk in, there are examples of booby traps that were used, as well as one of the old entrances to the tunnels. Now, before we try actually crawling into the tunnels, we are going to practice the entrance. Now, tourists these days are quite a bit bigger than the Vietnamese soldiers from that time period, so they have created larger entrances for the main portions of the tunnels, but I do believe that this entrance that you can practice with is the same size as the ones that the soldiers used, though I'm not 100% sure.
Right, put leaves on, more leaves. Pull leaves on. Don't hands up, straight up your arms. Perfect.
So before we get deeper into the tunnels, quite literally, let me give you a little bit of very important background history. The Cu Chi tunnels were built by the Viet Cong, that is the communist northern Vietnamese soldiers, and they were used over several years for many different specific purposes, and they really were a huge part of why the northern Vietnamese won the Vietnam War. There are several openings to the tunnels that are way more obvious than the ones that are hidden under leaves, like the one that we all went into. These entrances that were easy to find were actually decoys, and they were lined with booby traps so that the actual tunnels could remain hidden.
Pass by towns, pass by signs. Pass by days, pass by lives.
Throughout the war, up to 16,000 people lived in these tunnels. At the end of the war, only about 5,000 remained, and that's not actually because of attacks on the tunnels specifically, but because of bombs. All right, it's officially time. We're gonna put my ever so slight claustrophobia to the test. There are 100 meters of tunnels that you can access as a tourist. And luckily for me, they are split up. So there's the 20-meter option, the 40-meter, I think the 60 and the 100. There are also exits along the way, so you don't have to do the full 100. After the first 20 meters, it gets a lot smaller. So the first 20 meters are the widest tunnels, which is I think what I will be sticking to. After that, the tunnels get significantly more narrow. And there is a point where you do have to crawl on your hands and knees. So I don't think I'll be going that far. These tunnels have, of course, been reinforced for tourists, so they are a bit wider than they used to be. They're definitely safer, but it's still a little scary.
Hometowns that don't grow up, heartbreak and childhood love and time. I wouldn't mind silence fever, 'cause I belong to a land of noise.
And they get even smaller in this.
I am fully crouched. I can't really see where I'm going. I have my phone flashlight. I can't believe this is the largest of them.
Destinations get their names. The biggest words mark their place.
So there are 100 meters of tunnels that you can access as a tourist, and they are split up into 20-meter long sections. So the nice thing about that is that every 20 meters you have the option to exit. The first 20-meter section is the widest, but you are still fully crouched over, backpack on the front, very careful the whole time. I just did the first 20 because I was a little worried that after that it supposedly gets a lot smaller and a lot more claustrophobic. So I was happy with my initial 20 meters. They did go by very quickly. You're kind of just in and out, which I think is okay. So a couple of tips that may seem obvious, but may not. Don't wear white. You're doing a lot of crawling around. Your pants, your shirt will get very dirty. Also, it's really hot outside, but we are in the jungle. So sunscreen, bug spray, you know the drill. But these are things when you're focused on the history and these incredible tunnels, you might forget things like bug spray. But I was able to buy some here, so that's good too.
The smaller points unknown, call somebody home, but I paid it no mind.
We're now trying some tapioca, which is dipped in some salt or sugar. I will find out in a moment. It's like a potato. Dipped in sugar? Interesting.
Pass by towns, pass by signs. All I miss, driving by. I only know the levers, the loudest ones to raise their voice, and I'll never catch the silence fever, 'cause I belong to a land of noise. I belong to a land of noise. I belong to a land of noise.
I made it back from the tour, which all things considered, I would say was worth it. I'm not going to actually name the tour because A, I don't think that it was particularly great, and B, I'm not actually even sure what the name of the company was. I just Googled half-day Coochie Tunnels tour. And that said, I wouldn't really consider this a half-day tour. I was there from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. To me, that's a full day. But it's 2 hours from the city, so that makes sense. I do think it's worth paying a little bit extra to get on a smaller tour. My tour was 24 people, and while it only cost me $16, 24 people is a lot of people to wait for to move on to next stops. People do recommend combining the Coochie Tunnels with the War Remnants Museum here in Ho Chi Minh City. I will definitely be visiting tomorrow, but I've heard that it's quite graphic, so I'm not going to include it in the vlog, but I did want to mention it because it is very important to see while you're here in Ho Chi Minh City.
Hello from the Vietnamese island paradise of Phu Quoc. If you have been following my channel, then you know I have spent the last few weeks exploring Vietnam from top to bottom, and now I am here, sadly, at my last destination in this beautiful country. I am here on the island of Phu Quoc, which is in the southwest of the country. It's actually quite close to Cambodia. Even though it's not currently the rainy season officially, there has been quite a lot of rain in the forecast. But the good news is it's not currently raining, so we're taking advantage here at the beach.
It feels a little bit heavy, like I'm told it should. I was a little unready, didn't know if I could.
I arrived on the island last night. It was about a 45-minute flight from Ho Chi Minh City, so it was pretty easy to get to. There is a budget airline, Vietjet, that you can take here. When I arrived, it was absolutely pouring rain, so I am so grateful that we have some clear skies, or mostly clear skies, to enjoy at the beach today. Now, I am certainly not the only tourist here, but you may notice the beach is not as crowded as you might expect a place this beautiful to be. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of the history of this island or why that might be, but I do know that it's relatively new as a beach island destination here in Vietnam. So I think this video is the perfect opportunity to explore and try to figure out, is visiting this island really worth it? And why aren't more people coming here? So I've been here now at the beach for several hours. I finally got in the water. I was very focused on finishing my book, so I did that. I may or may not have gotten a tan. I think we'll see in a couple hours. But overall, the beach has been really nice. There have been a few other people kind of coming and going. It's definitely not crowded by any stretch. I will say the one downside that I find personally is the dogs. There are a few stray dogs here on the beach that just don't look like they're well. Obviously, I feel very bad for the dogs, but they come quite close to you and it makes me a little uncomfortable. So that's the only thing. Other than that, the beach is beautiful, the weather's good, the prices are great. So overall, maybe 9 out of 10. So I'm just leaving now. That was Angry Crab Beach Bar, and it was an honestly really solid option for if you just want a stretch of beach, a couple drinks. It's a good place to sit. There was no chair fee for the beanbags, which I always appreciate. The drinks were also super affordable. I think my mango smoothie was 80,000 dong, so that's less than 4 USD, and you know, you're paying to be on the beach, so you won't hear me complaining. As I'm walking around, I'm seeing lots of really beautiful luxury resorts and hotels. I could be wrong, but they do seem empty. Now, to be fair, the weather forecast for this weekend was really, really bad. It was supposed to rain the entire time, so that could definitely be a factor. But I have heard that this is something that other people have noticed, that parts of this island feel kind of empty.
With everything and nothing holding me here, now I'm making plans for the rest of the year.
I grabbed a quick banh mi on the way home from the beach. It was 45,000. They also had an option with less meat for 25,000. So we're talking $1 to $3. I did, of course, then go around the corner and find a place that had banh mi for 15,000, which is less than $1. So I think you can definitely do this island very, very affordably, but you may have to know slightly more where to look. But again, we're talking a difference of $2. The sun is just going down now and it'll soon be time for dinner. So I figured it's the perfect opportunity to check out the night market here on the island. I have heard mixed things about the night market, but I am curious to see it. And again, the rain has held out, so I may have just jinxed it, but hopefully it'll stay dry. Already I'm really impressed. It's much larger than I was expecting. There are full storefronts as well as lots of stands with food and souvenirs. I've heard it's mostly food, but there seem to be a lot of things to buy as well.
And everyone is saying it's not a choice that I need to make. It's just a voice pointing out everything that's at stake. No one I know is gonna show me the way, but
Obviously, we're on an island. Seafood is the thing to eat here. I haven't quite decided what direction I'm taking tonight's dinner in just yet, but it is really fun to watch people choose which fish they will eat from the tanks and then see the person grill it up right next to them. I think it's fair to say that the tan that I got on the beach earlier is setting in. That's all right. It's okay. I just stopped for some dinner at a Thai place. It was called Pad Thai. So I ordered the Pad Thai. It was really well reviewed and I see why. It was delicious. It was a couple of dollars. I think generally here prices are a bit higher than on the mainland in Vietnam, but not by much. The market is definitely a bit more crowded now. I think that it starts to fill up as the evening goes on. So I might do another walk through, maybe do a little souvenir shopping. But otherwise, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Pretty successful first day here on the island. It is another day here on the beautiful island of Phu Quoc. I think you may be able to tell that my camera lens is fogging up a bit with this humidity. We have a little bit of rain today, but I don't think it's gonna stick. I think we're gonna have another beautiful day. Today I've decided to check out a different part of the island. I'm currently in the sort of main area, the main township, which is called Vinh Dong. I definitely need to work on my Vietnamese pronunciation. In fact, the name of the island, a lot of English speakers pronounce the island Phu Quoc because that is kind of how it's spelled from an English-speaking mindset, Q-U-O-C, we would say Quoc or something along those lines. But I did speak to a few Vietnamese people who taught me that the correct pronunciation is something along the lines of Phu Quoc, so that's what I've been trying to say. But the pronunciation is quite difficult here. I am not good at all at Vietnamese. So if you are Vietnamese or you speak Vietnamese and you're following, please let me know. Give me some tips for how I can pronounce these words better. The southern tip of the island is known for having many large resorts, beautiful beaches, and a very famous cable car. So we're gonna see what we can get up to today. We're gonna hope that the weather holds out. Regardless, it's going to be another beautiful day on this beautiful island.
Talks a little bit to me like I wished he would. He sees a little bit through me where the walls once stood.
Well, welcome to Sunset Town. That is the actual name of where I am right now. I can't believe this. If you showed me a picture of where I am and asked me to guess what country this was in, I can't say Vietnam would have been my first guess. I am here in, as you can tell, what is essentially a fake Italian village. And I gotta say, it's beautiful. It does feel a little bit empty here, kind of in a Las Vegas or Disney World sort of way, where you know that this was built for tourists. It's not like people live in these buildings, but it's really beautiful and I'm just really excited to do some exploring. It's a very unique place to be. It's a bit windy here as I'm closer to the water, but over my shoulder here is the Kiss Bridge. It's a very cute concept. There's two sides to the bridge and they don't quite connect, but they're close enough that one person can stand on one and the other can stand on the other, and you can kiss. This really is so interesting because there are so many buildings around and I assume that they're all resorts or most of them are resorts, but there aren't many people out. I mean, it's good weather, so maybe they're at the beach, but it definitely feels like there's a lot more potential here than is being put to use. And I don't know why that is. I'm now just walking around this resort area and a lot of things are closed. I mean, behind me is or was, or maybe will be a restaurant. There's a fountain here that's not on. It's really interesting. I mean, the optimist in me is hoping that it just means that they're preparing for more tourists and doing construction and things like that. It does make me wonder if they're preparing for maybe more of a boom in tourism to come, or if this was something that was intended for maybe 2020 and the world events maybe stopped it. I just stopped for some lunch. I had some seafood fried rice. It was about $4.33, which is obviously very affordable, but more expensive than a non-touristy location here in Vietnam. I'm so intrigued by this. Right now, it's the middle of the day, it's a weekend. There's no one at this craft beer place. Maybe it's not open, but there's no one on the beach. There's no one on the Kiss Bridge either. It's not the off season, it's the on season. I don't know what's going on. Behind me, you can see the famous cable car here on the island. I was thinking about riding it today. However, it's already about 4:30 p.m. and I just found out almost too late that the last ride of the day is at 5 o'clock. So if you are planning on going, plan ahead. The ticket costs around $25.50 USD round trip, and I believe that also includes a ticket to the water park that the cable car takes you to. I will just say be careful if you're buying your ticket in person, because I went to buy a ticket from one of the resort lobbies here and they almost didn't tell me before I purchased it that the last ride of the day is at 5. So I guess I was buying a ticket for tomorrow, but they didn't tell me that. So I'm really, really glad I asked before I bought it. On Kem Beach. It's known for being one of the most beautiful beaches on the island, and I can definitely see why. I'm on the east side of the island, whereas before I have been sticking to the west side, and it feels a little different. It's definitely still a bit cloudy, but the sky is still blue, the waves are beautiful, and it's so peaceful, even with a little wind. I'd say the beach on this side of the island feels a lot cleaner and nicer than the beach that I went to on the west side. There are more resorts in this area, but there are beach bars as well and places to lay out. I've gotten a chair at one of the beach bars here. There was actually no fee for the seat. There's just a minimum spend of 150K dong per person. That's roughly 6 USD. Super affordable, very reasonable, and it is just such a beautiful spot here on the beach. The one thing that is a little bit odd is that you do have to spend the entire minimum spend in one go. So I did have to order 2 beers at the same time, but again, with this view, I'm very happy.
I've learned to ignore the way. Not all who hurt have to numb the pain.
I don't know what that's about.
I can bear it pushing down on me. It's only a little bit.
has to happen. The true test. I'm getting in the water.
It's not a choice that I need to make. It's just a voice pointing out everything that's at stake. No one I know is gonna show me the way, but I know staying put is still choosing to stay.
Now, to be fair, it's a bit windy, but the water's pretty warm. I mean, I don't know, it's not cold anyway. As I'm standing out here on this perfect beach, I'm realizing that this is not only the end of this video, but the end of my entire Vietnam series. These past few weeks have been more than I could have ever hoped for. I have had the best time in this country, and I'm just so grateful that I got to have this experience, to meet all the people that I met, to eat the food that I got to eat. It's been so incredible. Thank you to everyone who came along, who watched, to everyone that I met on this journey. It's just been so beyond what I could have imagined. I'm so sad that it's over, but I will absolutely be back. While it may be the end of this chapter, I have so many more videos on the way that I've already planned, and some of them I'm filming before I even get home to the US. So you're gonna wanna make sure you're subscribed, turn on notifications, and stay tuned because there's so much more on the way. So with that, I will say thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you very soon.